Willow Street, a quiet suburban lane in North Carolina, had always been known for its blooming magnolia trees, friendly neighbors, and small-town charm. But above all, Willow Street was known for one woman, a lady whose strength had touched every home, every heart, and every soul in the town. Her name was Evelyn Carter. Most people knew her as the kind old woman who lived in the White House at the corner, the one with fresh flowers on her porch and warm smiles for every passerby. But hidden behind her soft voice and gentle eyes was a story nobody truly understood. A story of extraordinary courage carved out of ordinary days. Evelyn was 70 now, but the fire inside her had never dimmed. Some said she was born brave. Others said life had carved bravery into her. But the truth was simple. Evelyn chose courage every single day. Her journey began long before Willow Street knew her name. In her early years, Evelyn lived in a small apartment in Detroit with her husband, Michael. They didn't have much money, but they had a heart full of dreams. Evelyn worked at a bakery, waking up before sunrise every day. Michael worked as a mechanic. Together they believed that life would get better, with effort, with faith, with love. But at 32, Evelyn's world collapsed. Michael was diagnosed with a rare heart condition. Doctors said he had only a few years left. Evelyn refused to cry in front of him. She held his hand through every hospital visit, every medication, every sleepless night. She worked extra hours just to pay the bills. She wiped his tears and hid her own. When Michael passed away, Evelyn felt like the sun inside her had died too. She stood at his grave with their two little children, James and Lily, and promised herself one thing. I will raise them strong. I will raise them with hope. I will live the life he wanted for us. But promises are easier made than kept. Raising two children alone was not a challenge, it was a mountain. Evelyn worked 2 jobs, the bakery in the morning and a cleaning service at night. There were days she did not sleep at all. There were nights she cried silently into her pillow, so her children wouldn't hear. Her hands were always tired, her back always aching, but her heart was always full. James once asked her, "Mama, why do you never rest?" She smiled softly and replied, "Because every step I take is building your future." Years passed. The children grew. The bills never stopped. The refrigerator was sometimes empty. The rent was sometimes overdue. But Evelyn never complained. She believed that complaining made the mountain feel bigger. Instead, she taught her children 3 things. Kindness is a strength, not a weakness. Hard work never betrays you. Courage is choosing to stand even when your legs shake. Little did she know that one day she would need her own lessons more than ever. On a warm morning in June, when Evelyn was 55, she felt an unusual pain in her chest. She ignored it for days, thinking it was just stress. But when the pain grew sharper, she finally visited the hospital. After several tests, the doctor came in with a heavy face. "Evelyn," he said gently, "I'm afraid it's breast cancer." The room spun. Her heartbeat raced. She felt fear grip her like cold iron chains. "How long?" she whispered. "We caught it late," the doctor replied. "But we will try." Evelyn didn't cry, not in front of him. Not in front of her children. She walked out with her shoulders straight and her chin lifted, even though her heart was breaking. That night she stood in her kitchen, staring at her reflection in the window. She looked at the woman staring back, older now, tired, worn, but she saw something else too. She saw Michael. "Keep going," she whispered to herself. "He would want you to." And so she fought. Chemotherapy was brutal. Her hair fell out in clumps. Her skin lost its glow. Her body weakened. But every time the nurse inserted the 4-line, Evelyn smiled and said, "I've survived worse. I can survive this too." Some days she fainted from weakness. Some days she couldn't eat. Some days she wanted to give up entirely. But she didn't. Because Lily, now in college, called her every night crying. Because James worked 2 part-time jobs, just to help with medical bills. Because Evelyn believed that hope was stronger than fear. During a support group meeting, one patient asked, "How do you stay so positive?" Evelyn's answer silenced the room. "Because I refuse to let fear write my story." Those words became the motto of her life. After months of treatment, the doctor walked in with a smile. "Evelyn, your cancer is shrinking. You're winning." For the first time since the diagnosis, Evelyn allowed herself to cry. Tears of relief, gratitude, and victory. Her journey wasn't easy. Her scars were deep. But she rose, stronger than before. She went back to work, slowly rebuilding herself piece by piece. And when neighbors saw her walking again with her bright smile, they began calling her the brave heart of Willow Street. Evelyn could have rested. She could have stayed quiet. But she believed that survival meant responsibility. So she started volunteering at cancer support centers, talking to women who had lost hope. She would sit beside them, hold their hands, and say, "I know the darkness you feel. But remember, your story is not over." Her words saved lives. Her smile healed hearts. Her presence changed destinies. Years passed. Evelyn became a symbol in her community, someone people looked up to, someone people believed in. Schools invited her to speak. Hospitals welcomed her encouragement. Volunteers admired her spirit. When she turned 70, the town arranged a special celebration. Hundreds gathered around her house, holding candles and flowers. Children sang songs. Adults shared stories. The mayor gave a speech. Evelyn Carter taught us that courage has no age, strength has no limit, and hope has no end. Evelyn stood there, tears shining in her eyes, humbled but proud. She realized something that day. Her life had become a lighthouse for others. A guide. A flame. A reason to stand tall. On her 75th birthday, Evelyn wrote a letter, one she wanted her children and the town to read someday. It said, "I was not born brave. I simply chose not to break. Life tried to drown me, but I learned how to swim. Pain tried to destroy me, but I learned how to heal. And fear tried to silence me, but I learned how to speak." If you ever feel like giving up, remember this. Strength is not something you find. It is something you create, one heartbeat, one step, one day at a time. Evelyn's story spread beyond Willow Street, beyond North Carolina, even beyond the United States. Her words were quoted in speeches, written in articles, shared in hearts. Schools named scholarships after her. Cancer centers hung her quotes on their walls. Young women wrote letters saying, "You saved me." And even long after she was gone, the legend of the brave lady lived on, whispered by the wind, carried by the streets, held inside the hearts of all who heard her name. Glowing star moral of the story. Courage is a choice. Hope is stronger than fear.